trouble seems to rain on my dreams. It's not a big deal. Let it wash all the bugs off my windshield. Cause you're showing me that in you I'm free.
Oh, welcome back. Well, musical entertainment abounds throughout central Nebraska and throughout the state of Nebraska. And I think it was back in December when we had our last guest here. And I unfortunately wasn't here, so I missed out.
You did miss out, and he was a hit.
You bragged and bragged about this. So we are so excited to have our next guest back with us. Ryan Martinez joins us now. Good morning.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Good.
Awesome. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you for coming back.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you're here too.
I am too, because I've heard so much about you from friends, and Ronnie was telling me as well. So it's great to, from Grand Island, correct?
From Grand Island, Nebraska, born and raised there. So
born and raised.
Live there with my wife and my son now. So.
Yeah, Shiloh.
Yep, Shiloh.
Yes, have to give a shout out to Shiloh. He's in the studio right over there. Going to be
So
musically entertained here in a little while.
Yeah.
But let's, first of all, tell us about your kind of music that is that you play.
I write Christian hip hop music, and so I really just wanted to share a little bit of my story about how it came to, like, I was in this. I was living in Bellevue at the time, and I was just in this place where I hit rock bottom, and there was just this one night where I was just on my knees, and I was just asking God either take my life or change me, because I was just so selfish. Everything was always about me. I was just living in so much sin, and that night it was just a real change, and he revealed himself, his perfect love and unconditional love. And the next morning I wrote my first song. It's called What Is Love, just about my journey for love in life. And
did you write music before that, or did the words come after that?
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting to, because it was crazy. I wrote a little bit of poetry, but so like I wrote that first song like 8 hours straight just writing, and then for the next 5 days it was just, I could not stop writing. It was like nothing I've ever experienced. Like I recall this one night, I went to bed at like 3 a.m, and I sleep talk a lot. And so I remember waking up every hour, and it was like I was sleep rapping. I was literally dreaming lyrics. It was just this incredible experience I never had. And so for that 5 days, at the end of the 5 days, I had like 9 songs, and I had the worst headache I'd ever had in my life. And it's just because the Holy Spirit was like doing something in me that I just couldn't do, and my mind could not keep up. And so it was just incredible, the experience that I had, and it gave me this new appreciation for the way the Bible was written through men by God, and it was inspired. And like in that 2 months of when I came to Christ, he did something in me that I could never do on my own. And so that's where my music came from.
So, but before that time, you wrote poetry, you were saying?
A little bit here and there. And I started in Lincoln when I was actually a professing atheist. I'd kind of given up on God. It was like a year before I moved to Bellevue. And I started writing poetry. But it was crazy because I used some of that poetry that I wrote when I was an atheist, and I actually incorporated it into my Christian music. So God has been there by my side, kind of placing things in order. And even when I didn't realize he was there with me. So
Are you still writing?
Yes, I'm still writing.
Still coming.
Gosh, God has just continued to grow my talent, and the song I'll be performing is from our upcoming album. It's called The Awakening, and he's just continued to do things in me, and I'm just like, holy crap, what is he doing? You know what I mean?
Exactly, and a great name for an album, The Awakening.
The Awakening, yeah, and
Love
the core message of the album is just reaching out to people to see that we, deep down our hearts, we're sinful, we're selfish, and Christ can help us overcome that. And that's what I really want to open people's eyes, because a lot of people in our culture want to, we think that everybody's inherently good, but deep down we have a sinful nature, and we need to realize that before we can take the steps to becoming a good person. And nobody's good, but Christ can. A quote that I really like is, "It's not about being perfect; it's about being perfected by Christ." And a lot of people think this Christian walk's about being perfect. I'm not perfect. I still got a lot of things I need to work on. So
what kind of music did you listen to before?
Just worldly rap music and
so you were into rap
dubstep.
before.
Dubstep was a big thing, but then sort of, and it's weird. I didn't ever expect I was going to be a Christian rapper, a rapper, let alone Christian rapper. And so, just
changed your
incredible.
life.
It's just incredible, and I can't stop telling people about Christ. So
Absolutely.
So
Well,
fun.
your music just shares so much
Yep.
of stories of your life. And if you stay with us, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, about Ryan's journey. And he's going to stay with us because a little bit later on the show, he's going to do some rap for us too.
Yep.
But let's talk a little bit more about your story when we come back. So stay with us,
Awesome.
friends.